Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What is this, Thursday night? No, Wednesday night. I never know what day it is. I don't know why, I just don't. But I do know that this is New Cosmic Knowledge. I do know that I'm Jeffrey Darty, and I do know that we've got a whale of a show for you tonight. If you missed the show earlier today, Serpent Dove with Sandra D. Wow. If you missed the show a little bit later than that with Deborah L. Smith, Breaking Dawn. Wow. You got to catch up on those. You got to see those, and you got to see the shows we did. Oh boy, all this week long. And I'm asking the question, did God die? Did God die? And as Sandra asked today, if we're deity, we're divinity, how could God be dead? I love that woman. I love her mind. I love other things about her as well, but I think I love her mind perhaps most of all. I love the way it works, and we're working together, and we're here to help each other. And look who's here. I didn't expect to hear from the beauty, the light of my life, Sandra D, but she is in the chat room. Nice to see you, sweetheart. An unexpected pleasure. But did God die? And I'm not talking about a Nietzsche God is dead type of a philosophy. I'm really talking about the God that we think of as God, the God that we call God, whether you be of the Jewish persuasion, whether you be of the Muslim or Islamic persuasion, whether you be of the Christian, either Catholic, Roman Catholic, or Roman Protestant persuasion, we're thinking about the same God. Some may call him Yahweh, some may call him G-D, some may call him Allah, some may call him Jesus or Lord. Some may call him Rat Bastard. It's been a while since you've heard that. If we're infinite, then isn't God infinite? Good question, Sandra. So let's talk about this. I have often wondered, and you've heard Wayne Steiger also wonder this question, where is God? If this God of the Bible is so strong and so powerful, where is he? And as I look into the Old Testament, let's talk about the God of the Old Testament. When did that God ever show up? Well, he showed up in Egypt when he sent the plagues onto Egypt, the frogs, the flies, the Nile, the killing of the firstborn, the darkness, and I'm missing one, the locust. Read the story again. Who brought the plagues? When the Nile turned to blood, was it Yahweh that came down and stuck his holy little pinky finger into the river? Was it Jehovah who came down and put his wee all the way home, go to market piggy into the Nile and it turned to blood? Was it Jesus who walked on the Nile and turned it to blood? No. It was Aaron or it was Moses that reached out their hand over the Nile and it became like blood. When the darkness fell, did Yahweh show up and turn off the lights? When the darkness fell, did Jesus come and turn out the lights? No. Moses did. Aaron did. Same thing with the frogs. Same thing even when the firstborn of all of Egypt were slain, Yahweh didn't even do the dirty work himself. They said it was an angel of the Lord that did it. An angel came, the death angel. That's not Yahweh. And was it really the Israelites going house to house and killing? I mean, if you're an angel, why do you have to see blood? Don't you know who's what? If you're an angel, can't you see through walls? If you're an angel, can't you pass through walls? If you're an angel, do you have to see blood on a doorpost? But if you're a mercenary, if you're an assassin, and you can't see through walls, and you can't walk through walls, and you're a human being, then when you see the blood, you pass over. Yahweh didn't do diddly in Egypt. Oh, but Yahweh parted the Red Sea. Oh, really? Yahweh came down and he spread out his arms and the Red Sea parted and Israel went through on dry land? No. Yahweh didn't show up. Moses did. Moses, who happened to be trained in all the great arcane magical knowledge of the Egyptians. Well, Jeff, how about the walls of Jericho? They fell. Did Yahweh come and march 7 times around the walls of Jericho? No, 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 no. Who did? Israel. With what? Ark of the Covenant. What else? What else? You get my point. Yahweh has never shown up. Jehovah has never shown up. Marduk has never shown up. Yaldabaoth has never shown up. And today, where is he? Where is he? He's MIA, missing in action. I wonder if he's DOA, dead on arrival. Is YHWH DOA. Where is he? No one's seen him. No one's heard from him in a long, long time, as in forever. Sandra, tell me one of his works. He's never shown up. I believe, and Katha O'Hara sent me an email, and I haven't done this. She said 3 different sets of rods confirm that Yahweh is dead. Are you ready for this? He lives in the psychopaths. Ooh, Sandra, great job. Okay, first of all, for those of you that are new, please. How are we doing on sound? Can you still hear me? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Please show me yes. Please show me no. Is Yahweh dead? Is the Lord dead? Is Marduk dead? Is the rat bastard a dead bastard? Yes. Is Jeff dead? No. Is God dead? Here's what I believe the evidence shows. The God that was the real true God of the Tetragrammaton, watch this, is the being and power associated with the Tetragrammaton still active in the universe? Yes. Is the being originally bearing the name Yahweh still active in the universe? Yes. Here's what happened, ladies and gentlemen. The God of the Tetragrammaton, the divinity, the deity of the Tetragrammaton, the deity that really was truly originally the Tetragrammaton, the YHWH, the Yahweh, if you will, is still there. I have recently had personal interaction with a Titaness deity. She's still there. I've been contacted by deities, they're still there. But the God who has, the being that usurped the name Yahweh, the God, the being that we know as Yahweh, that confused us for who knows how many years as Yahweh, is dead. He's gone. Somebody killed him. Somebody killed him. Sandra asked, what is the significance of the Tetragrammaton? Well, we're going to talk a little bit of magic with a K. The Tetragrammaton remains to this day a hugely potent and powerful magical talisman, name, word, mantra. I didn't like it, didn't want to use it, but it remains and it retains power. And there is a real deity that is associated with that name, associated with that Tetragrammaton. The Tetragrammaton, let me show you what the Tetragrammaton is, just so I can give you guys a picture. It'll help you if you can see the Tetragrammaton, because it's not so ambiguous. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call the Tetragrammaton. This is the Tetragrammaton. It is a core symbol of sacred geometry. It is a core symbol of magical operations. It is a core symbol of sacred geometry. That's the Tetragrammaton. The being that's associated with this is alive and well. The being that's associated with this is powerful. I caution you to trifle with this being. But the being that usurped that name, the being that went around running around saying, I'm Yahweh, I'm Yahweh, I'm Yahweh. What I think happened is Yahweh, the real one, got tired of the imposter. I watched the Hannibal TV series. I've watched it 3 or 4 times. It was only 3 seasons. And Hannibal Lecter, Dr. Hannibal Lecter, was the real, as they called him, the Chesapeake Ripper. And there was people during that show that would try to say they were the Chesapeake Ripper. And when they were trying to say they were the Chesapeake Ripper, well, Dr. Lecter would dispatch them. Because people that are truly powerful don't like people that are wannabes stealing their name. Yes, thank you, Sandra. So I believe the real deity of the Tetragrammaton took care of this false deity of the Tetragrammaton. Nigel, that is such a huge Mandela effect. I know he said, hello, Clarice. But anyway, he's been run off. He's dead to us. He's no longer in this universe. He's no longer in this frequency. I don't know if you can kill energy, but you can banish energy. Thank you, Sandra. You can banish energy, and he's gone. And I love all these great questions. Well, if he's dead, how can he still be in charge? If he's dead, how come things are still happening? Here's what I think, and this is fascinating. He's dead. We've got confirmation that he's dead. And yet, there's all these people that are worshiping the name of Yahweh, the essence of this. Sandra, you're getting closer. The essence of this being. Do you know what a tulpa is? I haven't talked about this in a long time. Tulpa. A tulpa is an entity created in the mind, acting independently of and parallel to your own consciousness. They're able to think. They have their own free will, emotions, and memories. In short, a tulpa is like a sentient person living in your head or even separate from you. Wikipedia says that a tulpa is a concept in mysticism and the paranormal of a being or object which is created through spiritual or mental powers. Modern practitioners use the term to refer to a type of willed imaginary friend which practitioners consider to be sentient and autonomous. Yahweh is dead. He's been dispatched. Sandra, now you're picking up what I'm putting down. Ask Heidi if Yahweh was cut in half and it's now Rahu and Ketu. Well, Rahu and Ketu, yeah, that's interesting. I'll ask her. We'll be on with her tomorrow night. Yahweh was killed. I think he was taken out by the true deity of that name or by some other deities. Oh, she's so cute. If you haven't watched Sandra D'Angelo's studies about empaths and psychopaths and sociopaths, psychopathy, sociopathy, empaths and highly sensitive individuals, you've got to watch it. It's some of the best stuff on YouTube this year. I'm telling you, I got to show you that real quickly because it's made big differences in my life seeing that and viewing that. And I'm somebody that studies all the time. And she has brought to me information that I didn't know about, powerful information. And I'm going to show you this because you need to watch this stuff. It's very, very powerful. And here's the videos that I'm talking about. And you need to watch the Deborah L. Smith show that we did today. Here's the ones right here. Empaths and narcissists, the who's and what's. Part 2, traits of these types, empaths and narcissists. Breaking the bond. And I hope tomorrow, depending on how busy she is, we'll have part 4, which I'm not sure what part 4 is all about, but I'm hooked. I'm hooked. Now, I might not be quite objective, but this is good stuff, and this was a great show as well. And I always tell you this because if I'd have heard this when I was raising my kids, things would have been a lot different for my kids. And you know how I feel about that. If you watched me the other day, you got to watch this show about empowering our children.
Thanks so much for tuning in today.
You need to watch it. So, where was I? Yahweh was killed. He was taken care of. And yet, the religions that he sponsored just didn't die. Why? I think Jeremiah 4:23-28 was the apostle Nigel, because I think he stole the Mhulu. He was saying he was Marduk. He came as a dragon, and Jeremiah called him out and said that the earth was destroyed. It could be analogous to the Tiamat. It could be analogous to the things that Deborah was talking about today. And I got a comic book series that includes some encoded information about all of this. You're welcome, my love. And we're going to be talking about it. It's going to blow your freaking mind. I tell you what, New Cosmic Knowledge just had a meditation with Sandra, even though we're 250 miles apart. I'm telling you, folks, that meditation is a key that unlocks another door to your spirituality. Sandra used it to free herself from alcohol addiction, prescription painkiller addiction, from a life of being dominated and abused by psychopathic, sociopathic individuals over a long period of time. She used that. She tells me this is what keeps me sober. And it does something to me. I've only been doing it 5 days, but it's just, it opens up new vistas of inspiration, motivation, revelation. So Do it. She'll teach you to do it. She works on a donation basis. Be the best money you ever spent. The Yahweh of the Old Testament was a low-life scumbag. I think he's been bumped off. But you've still got 1 billion Muslims worshiping Yahweh. You've still got 1.5 billion, 2 billion, probably 2 billion Roman Catholics and Roman Protestants worshiping Yahweh. You've still got how many millions of Jews worshiping Yahweh? All this intention, all this focus is going out on this being Yahweh. It's not the real Yahweh, but this intention and power has coalesced over 6,000 years. Christianity, 4,000 years Islam, about 6,000 years of Judaism, about 2,000 years of Christianity, and about, let's say, 1,500 years of Islam. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of intention. And it's coalesced into this being, this tulpa-like being that has become a sentient entity, that has become a separate being. He's a tulpa. He's a thought form. He's like Slender Man. Only Slender Man shows up. Yahweh doesn't. The real power is there, but it doesn't really get too involved with us, because until we get into higher spiritual frequencies, we're insignificant. We're insignificant. He is present in the astral, Sandra. Very good. That's intuition right there, folks. I've been there. I know he is. She hasn't been there yet that she remembers, but she's right. This guy came by, tried to usurp the name. He got rubbed out or cast out. But yet the energetic emanations of all his followers have consolidated over to the years to this, into this thought form, this tulpa that we now call Yahweh. Bonsai Walking Tree says, what happened to the real Yahweh? The being really associated with the Tetragrammaton's still out there. But you got to realize, folks, these true deities, true real deities, they're titans, they're titanesses. They don't care about us. They created us. They created this world. I've talked about this. They created us. They created this world. They created a forum for us that has everything we need to grow into our Elohim nature. And then they said, do it on your own. It's just like me with my kids. One's 34, one's 30, and one's 26. And the one that's 26 acts like she's 6, asking for money all the time and getting mad at me if I don't give her enough. Ladies and gentlemen, trust me. If you want your dad to send you money, don't talk smack about him. It will have the opposite effect. Sooner or later, you got to let your kids go and do it themselves. You can't keep spoon feeding them. You can't keep throwing Benjamins at them. You can't keep buying them cars. You can't keep doing everything for them. They got to learn to do it for themselves. Well, the gods don't love us. They left us. Sometimes your kids will cry, why don't you love me? You won't buy me a Mercedes. No, I'm giving you something more valuable. The lesson that if you don't get off your butt and work yourself, you'll never have a Mercedes. You don't get off your butt and work yourself, you'll never have a PT Cruiser. And if you're off your butt and you're doing the work and you're going to where you want to be, you don't care what you're driving in. Because you're divine, you're sovereign, you're free, and you're rolling in a whole different dimension and frequency, and it doesn't matter to you. But these titans, these titanesses, these gods, they're way beyond our comprehension, because we think of these little gods sitting on thrones, making lists, checking twice, naughty nice, knows you, sees you when you're sleeping, knows when you're awake, you know the whole thing. That's what we think of. But these gods, And this is part of this thing with Deborah L. Smith, what I showed today, and I sent a letter to Sovereign Key. Hopefully she'll come on. These beings were huge and powerful. Let me show you something. Oh, I already put it into my bag. I'm going on a little trip. These beings were huge. These beings are titans. And until you get serious about getting serious, until you raise your vibration, until you raise your frequency, until you begin to start pushing 4D, 5D and above, titans are pure power, as Sandra said, they don't care about you. They've given you everything. You're 34, 30, 26. They've given you all the training. They've bought you cars. They've given you money. They sent you to school, bought you books, sent you to school. If you ate the books, that's your fault. And now they're saying, do it. Why won't God help me? Because you got to help yourself. Why didn't God do something? Why don't you do something? You're God. The Titans will not take notice of you. It's like, and I'm going to tell the story again, Travis Thorpe, who we'll have on the show again, says, here's how the true gods deal with humans. It's like you're sitting on the edge of a big lake. They work with the ones that work. That's right. There's an old saying in church, the gods help those that help themselves. Very true. If you sit on the bank of the river and cry out to God and weep and cry, they're going to laugh at you. They're not even going to look at you. If you build a boat, they might start looking at you a little bit, but you're still crying, there's a boat, help me. If you put a sail on it, oh, they say, oh, well, maybe. And then they still don't send you any wind because they want to see what you really are made of. And you make yourself an oar, and you're rowing, and you're rowing, and you're rowing, and you're rowing. And then they cause the lake to get waves. Oh, man. So they rowing, and it looks like you're about to sink. And you've done all you can do. You're at the point of exhaustion. Oh, I can't make it. Please help me, deity. Then, happy birthday, Belinda. Then they might send a wind to take you through the other side. The gods, the titans, the titanesses, the true deities are never, ever gonna help a lazy person. The gods, the titans, the true deities are never, ever going to help a poser. They're never going to help the psychopath, the sociopath that tries to play the game but doesn't really have it on the inside. They're never going to do anything for you. They're never going to do anything through you until you do something in you. You want to get the attention of the real deities? Go to work. You know what it takes to get the attention of the real deities? It takes when you're, to quote a person, up to your knees in alcohol, feeling ancient, almost wishing you could die, and then you start going to rehab. Then you start meditating. Then you start cleaning up your life and cleaning up your spirit. And you get off of the alcohol, you get off of the drugs, and then you start working on your mind and realizing, boy, I'm broke in the head. I'm broke because of what's been done to me. You wake up and realize, I've been tortured for years. When you do that hard work in the dark night of the soul, that's when you get the attention of the real deities. When you're preaching the gospel for 20 years, patting yourself on the back for how anointed you are in leading people into bondage, and you realize, oh my, I'm in trouble. When you realize that you have a suppressive personality and you're trying to control and micromanage and protect yourself by overprotecting yourself, and then you go into the dark night of the soul and you do the work, and you meditate, and you fast, and you fast, and you meditate. That's building a boat. That's building a sail. That's building an oar. That's rowing until you're exhausted. Sandra D wound up in the middle of a condo, lying on the floor in a fetal position. I wound up in a condo, lying on the floor in the fetal position. Unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it can never sprout and grow. Depends upon where you were, Belinda. Depends upon where you were. The true deities got sick of this pretender usurping the Tetragrammaton, and they wiped him out or cast him out. I think they killed him. I really do. I think they just blotted him out. Bzzzt. And yet, the false paradigm that he set up persists by the combined worship of Jews, Muslims, Roman Catholics, Roman Christians. So there's this tulpa out there. You've been afraid of the big bad wolf. It huffs and it puffs, but it can't blow your house down. Oh my, what big teeth you have. Oh my, what big ears you have. You're not Little Red Riding Hood. Not anymore. And he's not the big bad wolf. And you're not little pigs or little girls or little boys. The God that has oppressed your soul for all these years, and some of you all these lifetimes, I am careful, TL, is dead and gone. In his place is a phantom, a mist, a ghost, a tulpa. And it can't hurt you. It can't hold you back unless you let it hold you back up here. You're divine, you're sovereign, you're free. And there's real deity out there. The little God did die. The usurper of the Tetragrammaton did die. He's gone, dead, buried. That's why he didn't show up, Wayne. And yet there remains true, living, powerful, interested deity. Interested in those that have done the work and have exhausted themselves to the point of doing all they can do. Only after you do all you can do will deity move for you. Only after I went cold turkey for 24 months. Only after I went through a tremendous amount of work. Only after I worked on myself, loved myself, accepted that I'd be alone the rest of my life and poured myself into the work and service of others, only then did deity say, now we can make use of this guy. Only after Sandra pulled herself up off the condo floor, actually, that's an interesting story, pulled herself up off the condo floor, got herself straight, got herself right, did the work, dark night of the soul, meditating at least a half an hour every day for 3 years coming up on June 5th, fixed her empath and highly sensitive issues and relations to multiple psychopaths. And once she did that, then deity said, we could use her, I think. So Lord Shiva showed up and said, she caught Lord Shiva's attention. He's like, here's somebody down here that's built a boat, built a sail, rode like hell, is about to go under, and has asked for help. Let me go check her out. Put her on probation. Put her on a test for 5D. And now she's in 5D. She passed the test. If you really want deity to move for you, be careful what you wish for. Because, like the master said, only he who has died can live again. You can't be born again until you're dead again first. dying to self. You've got to get to that place. I laid there on that condo floor, looked up towards deity, and said, look, even though you kill me, I'm going to trust you. I believe you're real. I believe religion's a lie, not God. Here I am. Help a brother out. And then I went to work. And finally, after all that work, in walks my twin flame. Bam. But even then, and I'm going to tell this story again a little bit because not everybody hears everything. The Titans don't care about you. The true deities don't care about you until they know that you're serious. And they're not above testing you. Let me tell you what I mean. I'm divine, I'm sovereign, I'm free. I found the one, I'm him. I'm living good. I'm living powerful. I don't care if I'm alone the rest of my life. We're churning and burning. We're in the unindoctrination business, and cousin business is a booming. I'm chugging. I get a request. Can I do a spiritual counseling with you? Okay, here we go. Zoom. Boom, up pops Sandra D'Angelo. And I go, just like that, literally. Wow. This is almost a year ago. Wow. I'm trying to remain professional. Trying to be professional. I'm just wondering, tell me about your relationships. Also, you're currently in a relationship. Would you say that's a committed relationship? Very studious. And inside I'm saying, damn. And here's how the gods will test you to make sure that you're really serious. I could have applied all my charm and everything. She's in a committed relationship. I could have applied all my charm and stuff, but it wouldn't have mattered, but it would have mattered for me. If I'd have tried to woo her knowing that she was in a committed relationship, I'd have got smacked down. I wouldn't have been here, and she wouldn't have been here, and we wouldn't be in this. So that was my test, okay? I know what I felt, but I had to go hardcore, bros. I was so moved by her that I had to start canceling appointments because I couldn't be around her. I was so powerfully attracted to her. I didn't know what twin flame was, but I knew like that she was mine now that I know what a twin flame is. But I had to step back and say, no, not going to do it. Not going to chase her. 6-7 months go by. I'm in, and Sandra says she felt it too. So on Sandra's end, she feels it, but she's in a committed relationship. It would have been so easy for her. I mean, they were in a committed relationship, but they were living separately. It would have been so easy for her to fool around. So easy. And come on. Being silly. It would have been so easy for her. But even though she was in a relationship, it's not my business to tell about her relationship. She was in a relationship that wasn't serving her. She was in a relationship, and in her integrity and in her morality, walls, boom, no, can't do it, won't do it. I ended up in her neighborhood at Coral Castle. She brought her daughter out. Totally platonic, Coral Castle. This was 6-7 months later. Bam. Again, I'm like, whoa. Are you still okay? Yeah. It wasn't, yes, I'm in a committed relationship. Yes, I'm making this work. Yes. That was, almost a year ago. Come back to December now. Well, yeah, I'm still in a committed relationship. And yeah, we're working. I'm like, ooh. I'm like Jim Carrey. So you're telling me there's a chance? I didn't say that. And we didn't have any contact whatsoever. No kissy, smoochy, huggy, none of that stuff. And then still walking in integrity, her still walking in integrity. They'll test you. The Titans will test you. And right up to the very edge of taking note, right up to the very edge of using you, they'll test you. Lord Shiva, oh, she says she wants to be of service. She's almost there. Let's see if she's really got what it takes. Let's dangle something in front of her that she really wants. Knowing she's in a really bad place, will she take the carrot or will she stand in integrity? Ooh, Jeff, he thought he's going to be alone forever. Now he sees the girl of his dreams, but she's with somebody else. Will he stand in integrity or will he try to go get her? And then one day, a few months later, I get an email that simply says, am I ever going to see you again? I remember standing up. I stood up and went like this. And now the rest is history. We're in love. Lots of exciting information coming down into us, through us. And the future's bright, but only because we stood in integrity right to the very end, which is really just the beginning. So you say you want to make a difference. You say you want to be used by deity. You say you want divinity to take notice of you. Do you really? Do you really? Do you really? And we still do, absolutely. It's free, but it's not cheap. Moving into 4D, 5D, and above, working with the deity, being used with deity, it's free, but it ain't cheap. It'll cost you everything you have and everything you are. Most of them don't want the best for us, Bonsai, but there are some that do. There's some, they don't want to spoon. They don't want anybody they can spoon feed. Okay, that is just ignorant, and don't ever say that again or I'll ban you. In a New York second. That's disrespectful, and I won't stand for that. They're looking for partners to work with, but they're not looking for people to babysit. Tough message, hard message. You know what they do with pretenders? They wipe them out or they cast them out. These are powerful, ancient, august, awesome beings. They're looking for people to work with to change humanity and this universe and take us all to the next level. Are you one of the people that want to be part of that movement? Count the cost, weigh the cost, and decide if you're a rabbit or a squirrel. God did die. The God that's been oppressing us, suppressing us, messing with us. He's dead. He's gone. Don't buy the tulpa. But now there's a gap. There's a gap in leadership, not only in this dimension, in this frequency, but there's a gap in leadership across dimensionalities. There's a gap across quantum realities. There's a gap across frequencies. We are in the ascension business, and cousin, business is a booming. Don't believe the hype, says T.L. Clark. Yeah, God's dead, but deity is alive and well. And just like Sandra said, we're divine, we're sovereign, we're free. So no, deity, divinity is not dead. But the little G-O-D that's been trying to keep us from achieving and knowing and ascending to who and what we are, he's dead. He's been taken out of the way. And I wonder how long he's been dead. I wonder if my ranting and raving and asking other gods to help us had anything to do with it. Ouch. Did the Gospel Truth Army have anything to do with the death or banishment of the usurper of the name of Yahweh? I rest my case. Are there people hearing this broadcast that divinity wants to work with? Are all of them willing to pay the price? Are there some here that are willing to pay the price? Are there some huckleberries in this crowd? Are there some people that will say, that's just my game? Are there some people that are ready to say when? Yes, there are. I got goosebumps all over me. My goosebumps got goosebumps. Ladies and gentlemen, ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Ding dong, the emperor that had no clothes has been slain and cast out. Now's our time. Lock and load, rock and roll, wall to wall, treetop tall. Are you ready? Lead, follow, or get the hell out of the way. We got business to do. We got to guide our own spirits. We got to master our own ascension. We got to be our own guru. We got to ask questions. We got to question answers. We're divine. We're sovereign. We're free. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Now's the time. Now's the time to unindoctrinate yourself, cousin.